Hello, this is Radhaa at Galactic Goddess Podcast here for another episode. And this episode is all about Yoni health, how to keep a happy, healthy Yoni. So I just thought about this because I've been doing a juice cleanse where I'm basically drinking blended juices such as pineapple. And, it's really, really good for my Yoni health as well because, drinking pineapple juice and things like that really keeps your Yoni hydrated. So the first step I would say is to make sure that you're truly hydrated. A lot of times in our life, we're women who want to get stuff done and we drink a lot of caffeine and we're on the go and we neglect to drink enough water or juices, and when that happens, you're actually cutting the flow off to your Yoni. You're not allowing the Yoni to be fully hydrated, and the Yoni needs to be wet at all times in order to be healthy. Otherwise, if it gets dry, it gets damaged. So you want to make sure that your Yoni is really happy, really healthy, and feeling good. Especially like in the summer, you have all these great opportunities. Like right now, I am literally doing my podcast as I am sunning my Yoni in the forest. And it's such a beautiful feeling, to just allow your Yoni to open up to the rays of the sun and just, open your legs and just allow yourself to receive the rays of light right into your Yoni. Because she really needs to breathe and she needs to have the fresh air too, It's important because we're always wearing clothes that are so restrictive, and a lot of times like our underwear isn't always good for us. We wear underwear, but the second or the third thing would be to go commando every now and then, because it's important that your Yoni can breathe and not always be restricted. If you think of your Yoni like a mouth, like you're not going to always want to have it, tied down, even if it's a really cute G-string, right? So sometimes just take your underwear off if you're wearing a beautiful dress and it's a beautiful day, and allow yourself to have some, time away from your underwear. It's a very important thing. The other thing would be to use Yoni eggs, which I've been using for quite a few years now. I absolutely love Yoni eggs. I probably have every single one that you could have. They're jewels for your vagina, but they're not jewels that, other people get to enjoy and see. They're jewels for you as a woman. And, they're high quality. Of course, you have to get high quality Yoni eggs. And I might just do another podcast just about that, because that's a whole process in itself, verifying the quality of your Yoni egg. You want to be very careful, of course, what you're putting in your Yoni. So I make sure that all my eggs are certified gemstones and that they come through places that are very reputable. Don't mess around and buy cheap Yoni eggs, please, because you don't know where they come from. So Yoni eggs are another way to keep a very happy, healthy Yoni. They actually help to lubricate your vagina and your walls, because it's kind of, it doesn't really massage, but it just creates more lubrication inside of you. And surprisingly, the Yoni egg completely stays in place. And each Yoni egg is designed to activate you in a different way. It's not like a quote unquote stimulant. I use them for health and healing purposes, because they're very healing and they're very soothing, and different eggs bring out different qualities. Like if I need to be more creative, I might use like a red jasper, and if I need to feel more love in my Yoni, then I'm gonna wear a rose quartz. Just like you use gemstones on your body, but can you imagine how much more amplified that is when you have it inside? And it also tones your walls of your vagina and tightens you so that you can, feel your very best. So there's so many benefits to that. Let's see what else. Also, another thing, I suggest is having conversations with your yoni. Yes, come on, why not? We have conversations about everything else, so why not have a conversation with your yoni? I do the same thing with heart chakra healing, where we connect with our heart. So why would you treat your yoni like some object that's not worthy of your love, right? You need to love your yoni first before you expect anyone else to love it. And not only that, like, really think highly of your yoni and see it as a pristine part of you that really is doing these incredible things for you. And your yoni is your power center. It's your magical place, and you want to have a relationship with it. And so many times, in our culture, like, we don't have a relationship with our yoni as women. Like, we treat it like some foreign object, like it's a foot or something like that. We don't connect with it because we're never taught to. We're not taught to have a loving, relationship. Whereas men are taught to, like, really love their genitals when they're young. It's really promoted that men are the men, and all this stuff about men and their dicks and their outward. It's outward, right? And we're inward. We're reflective. We're like the dark, mysterious, aspect. We're the shadow part. Whereas like men and penises, like that's more like the light. It's like the sun shining. It's out in the bright light. And like women, we're wombs and vaginas and yonis and pussies. Like, we're more of the dark, we're more of the mysterious moon energy, where we're pulling that energy in, just like when there's a full moon, it affects the water. It affects our moon cycle. It affects everything. We are tuned in to the energy of everything. And back in the day, when there wasn't such thing as a clock, people used to track, cycles through the cycle of a woman. So it was a really great way to keep track of time, because we would know that we had hit this certain mark, right? So, there's just so many beautiful things about your yoni, and it's something to really love and to honor and to build a relationship with. And I encourage women to really get in touch, because I think once a woman starts to get in touch with her yoni, it really starts to shift and change her life in all areas of your life. I think your relationship with your yoni is a reflection of a relationship with your life, So if you're loving your yoni, taking care of her, nurturing her, making sure she's getting what she needs, taking time to sun her and pamper her and adore her, then it's going to show up in your life too, There's just so many stigmas I think women have around their yonis, and so much fear and shame, and that's not even something like we may have, but we may have incurred that through our lineage, right? So our lineage for so long, the woman has been deemed this and that, the witch, all this stuff that's been very shameful, the whore, and not really intelligent way of labeling people, because, we're all integrated, whereas men have been able to own their sexuality and own that aspect of themselves. Women are really needing to come to terms to owning their own sensuality, right? Because we're sensual beings. And if we don't own that, then it can be detrimental to our health. So coming into divine union with your own yoni is so important. And so I hope you enjoyed these tips. But as far as like the pineapple juice, yes, make pineapple juice. All you have to do is cut up maybe 1/4 of a pineapple and put it in a blender, put in about 1/2 cup of water, maybe just a little more than 1/2 cup. And then add in a little bit of salt. Make sure it's Himalayan salt, okay? Because regular salt, over-the-counter salt, is so bad for you. At least in my opinion. Of course, consult your own doctor. But in my world, I do not touch that, okay? So in my world, I only eat Himalayan salt. Because I know that it has the minerals I need and it hasn't been processed in a way that's going to cause me harm. And then if you're really daring, if you really want to alkalinize, and alkalinizing your gut is going to alkalinize your yoni. So, if you really want to alkalinize and you feel a bit acidic, then you might want to put in half of a lemon, and it's going to be pretty tart. I just had that this morning. I put a whole lemon in and it was so tart. I forgot that I did that and I was like, woo. But guess what? My yoni likes it. So, make drinks for your yoni because she's that special. It's that beautiful. And so when you want to do yoni self-talk, you can just lay down somewhere that's really relaxing and just put your hand on your yoni. And you can just take a deep breath and, feel relaxed in your own body. And you can even hum, just getting in touch with your own body, getting in touch with your own self and feeling your own sacred essence, your own beautiful essence, and remembering your own divinity. We are a living temple, and your yoni is a temple. It's a temple created, by the divine. Your temple is divine, right? And it creates divinity. And, many times we need to reclaim our own temple and just doing loving things to make it yours and make it special. And when you do, you'll find an aliveness because your yoni has its own personality and its own its own mind. My yoni has a mind of its own, okay? I don't always do what she says, but she definitely has a mind of her own, especially as I've worked with her, as I've connected with her and, awakened her, right? Because let's be honest, we live in a culture that numbs out yonis, right? Because of things like pornography and things that are a little more harsh and not really created to honor the yoni or to activate it, because it takes an activation, right? We have to activate it, or our partner helps to activate that aspect of us, right? But so many times, in our culture, like a lot of women come to me with really numb yonis, and it's not something that they even think about. It's just it's just something that they realize after we've worked together, and they realize that they're starting to feel alive. Sometimes you don't know when you're numb until you've stopped being numb, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I was so numb, but I'm not anymore. And you're not because you realize that you were, right? So, yes. It all comes back to the yoni. Everything comes back to the yoni. We didn't come from a rib, y'all. We came from a yoni. So respect, all right? So I think that was the last tip I wanted to share. I just wanted to make a short and sweet yoni audio because I thought, hey, I'm doing some yoni forest bathing right now. I think I should just share because why not? So I hope you enjoyed, and if you'd like to connect with me and find out more about my courses at Goddess Code Academy, you can go ahead and visit www.goddesscodeacademy.com. goddesscodeacademy.com. I do personal activations, healings, and coaching, and I have ongoing courses and books and workbooks. So check that out, and I hope you have a gorgeous day. So much love, Radha.